This video is a work of fiction. It's not real. I made it all up for fun. Right, if I want to connect you to the internet, how would I do that if you were already connected to everything else in the atmosphere? If your body is an electrical body and you're an electrical being, and I wanted to disconnect you from the God network and connect you to my network, how would I do that? Well, firstly, I would have to disconnect you from the network that you're currently connected to, which is what God and angels and all of the divine beings are connected to, and the rest of nature, by the way, like these trees and the birds and everything. And the way I would do that is I would block you from being able to receive the electromagnetic energy that is in the ether. Just like these buildings were designed to do the same thing, collect and harness and utilize free energy that is always there and always available, your body is designed to do that exact same thing. But if you were connected to the ether, you would be too smart to connect yourself to something else. So what I would have to do is I would have to somehow slowly convince you to disconnect yourself. And how would I do that? I would teach you to put things in your body that you shouldn't put in there. Because if I can block your connection to the ether and your inherent connection with nature and the electromagnetic energy that's always there, I can then convince you to connect to my network, because my network will seem like the best solution. So I would get you to paint yourself. Oil, seed oils, coconut oil, olive oil, oil of any kind. It's paint. It is paint. If you put oil in your body, you are painting yourself. And what's that going to do to you? It's going to block your connection to the ether and the electromagnetism for your energy. And if that happens, then you're going to need to keep eating food to keep stimulating yourself, to keep your body running. So that's when I can come in and say, right, you need to eat meat, you need to eat bread, you need to eat all this stuff that people eat. You need this amount of protein, you need this amount of carbs, you need this amount of fats, you need this, 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 and this. You need these micronutrients, you need selenium and zinc and vitamin B12 and vitamin B6 and blah, 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 on and on and on and on. Look at the vitamin K and all of this stuff, on and on and on. And if I can convince you you need all of that and get you micromanaging it, then I can provide for you the foods that contain these things that you now supposedly need. And because you're no longer connected to the ether, you are disconnected from your own nature. And if that's the case, I can tell you anything. And you're, okay, I need the vitamin K and the selenium and the vitamin B12. What foods contain it? Oh, just take these supplements. Oh, get the supplements. And the supplements have the technology in them. And now you're slowly being connected to this one. Now we're hooking you up to the dodgy mainframe. Look at it. Look at it. It's ugly. That's what it is. But nature prevails, because look, nature's growing on it. So that's how it's done. I will get your parents to teach you how to eat wrong, and then you will teach your kids how to eat wrong, because you've been doing it your whole life. We've always done it this way. My grandparents ate nothing but potatoes and steak and nanotechnology, and they lived to 100 years old. And my nan smoked cigarettes until she was 100 years old. Yep, cigarettes. They're literally creating that acidic environment in your body. If you have acids are in batteries. The body is being turned into a battery if you have acids in there. Smoking cigarettes is just more battery. Oil is the worst thing ever for this. Like, don't put oil in your body. And you'll probably be thinking like, what, not even coconut oil? Not even coconut oil. It's painting. So I'll show you again just to drive the point home. So for example, your body is designed to sweat toxins out, right? So let's look at this. If this is your body and you cover it in paint, how are you going to get the toxins out? Because the sun detoxes you. But if you can't sweat, because there's paint covering all your cells, which is like most people, many people don't sweat. It's because of that, because of the paint. And the sun is supposed to detox you. We're supposed to have a natural connection with the sun. And if you get sunburn, you're not actually getting a burn from the sun. You're getting burns because the sun is trying to pull acids out of your body. That's why some people burn more easily and some people can be in the sun all day. If you have a clean body, you can just be in it 24/7. But the sun is drawing the acids to the surface, and if you're covered in paint, because you painted yourself, because someone convinced you to paint yourself and connect to the mainframe, then it won't be able to get out and it'll burn. It'll be acid burns. And you'll be like, oh, the sun, I got sunburn, I need to wear sun cream. And then you like grab more nanotechnology into your body, and then you're like, oh, sun cream, yeah, it's helping. It's stopping me from detoxing from the sun. It helps, it helps. You see what I mean? See how deep this goes? It goes even deeper than that. The washing powder, all the processed food. I've explained this already, but if they can convince you to do any of that stuff, they can connect you to that. So, what's the solution? The solution starts with getting the paint off. Number one, get the paint off. Every time I talk to someone on a call, or they say, what do I do? I say, the first thing you should do, the first thing anyone should do, is get the oils out of your diet. Stop eating oil in any capacity. Coconut oil, olive oil, rapeseed oil, all the oils, deep fried food, everything. No more oil. Stop that immediately. You're painting yourself every time you eat oil. I don't care if it's organic, extra virgin, you're painting yourself. And that's the number one thing. And then from there, you want to get the fats out of your diet. If you eat meat, say like you cook bacon in a pan and then leave the pan on top of the stove, the fat will go hard and white after a few hours. And that's doing that inside your body. You need to get those kinds of things out. You need to get the blockages out, because it's blockages that are painting you. And like rocks from salt. Salt's another one. You're just putting rocks in your body. You can argue Celtic salt, sea salt, don't care. You're putting rocks in your body and it's damaging you and forcing your body to retain water. That's why people can't fast without salt. People do a fast on water and they go, oh, I felt terrible until I put salt in my water. So yeah, because your body was detoxing so fast when you were on just the water that you had to put the salt in just to keep the water retention in, just so you could feel good. That's why I don't ever recommend going from a normal diet to fasting. You need to rehydrate and get the paint off. Get the paint off. And the way you do that is you stop having oil, and oil's the number one priority to get out of your food thing. Like, you can keep eating salt for now if you're eating normal food. Stop eating the oil. And then you need to transition over to the mucusless foods that clean you. But you can't just start eating them, because they will interact with the paint and the nanotechnology that is bound to the nervous system. So if you just start flooding it, you'll get electric shocks and it'll be uncomfortable. So you have to transition. And the way to do that is you stop eating oil. That's the number one. And then lower the fat consumption, eat more carbohydrates, more sugars. People are always like, why do you recommend sugar? Because sugar fucks with the machinery. Sugar pulls it out for you. Sugar stops it. Sugar blocks it. That's why there's such demonized information about sugar everywhere, because the sugar is basically seen as a threat to the system, because it is. Sugar's amazing. I always say this, sugar's amazing. So more carbohydrates, no oil, and move yourself over towards the mucusless foods, the fruits. Because eating nothing but fruit doesn't sound very appealing if you're highly painted, because it would have changed your whole perception of what's tasty and what you should be eating. So there's a transition. You must transition. And the key, you're trying to get the paint off, but it's quite hard to get paint off. It takes a while, but you can do it. You just got to transition over. Stop putting more paint. Stop painting, and then slowly remove the paint. And that's the solution. And that's when you start to see your real food requirement isn't necessarily proteins and fats and carbs and macros and this amount of that. It's all about electricity, because regardless, you're going to be connected to either this one or this one. This one, there is electricity in the fruits and vegetables, the raw fruits, watermelon, mango, orange. That's electric. They're electric foods. They're like divine. They're sunshine, sunlight manifest. And then the sun itself provides that same, it's literally like beaming electromagnetic energy on us. That's what the sun is doing, and detoxing us while it does it. But if you're really painted, you won't even like the sun. You'll be like, oh, it's too hot, don't like the heat, because you're covered in paint. So if you get that paint out, you'll like the sun more. And then you reconnect yourself to this network, which is the network, the divine natural network of God. And then you will see so much more clearly. You'll just see it all for what it is. And then you can get off of, look, this is ugly. This is beauty. Ugly.